One of the bill's authors says that he and other Republican leaders are considering some changes to the bill's tax credit structure. But other Republicans, Elaine, are not waiting to see what they come up with. In fact, Florida Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen became the latest lawmaker on Tuesday evening to announce she's voting no because she's worried that too many of her own constituents are going to lose coverage.
Well, Nancy, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said Tuesday the White House is working on a manager's amendment with its counterparts on the Hill, seemingly an effort to persuade more members to support the bill. What does that tell us?
What that tells us is that the White House is being more open at this moment about the fact that this bill may need some changes in order to win over Republican support than Republican leaders themselves have been. The tone from Republican leaders has essentially been that the CBO got it wrong, nothing to see here, the bill is fine, it cuts the deficit, and it cuts premiums for many people, and that their work essentially is done, that they might do some tweaking around the margins, but no major changes are coming. You got a slightly different message from the White House and from one of the committee chairmen who wrote the actual bill. And that's an acknowledgement, Elaine, that they have some big problems, not just with their right, but with their moderates now. Moderates who are very concerned when they see how many people the CBO says would lose their coverage.
Well, Nancy, as we heard in your piece, Senator Cruz has concerns. He raised the question to reporters that if the bill as drafted would not pass the Senate, why House members would want to vote for it. You spoke with several other senators. What are you hearing from them?
Well, there are many Senate Republicans, in fact, more Senate Republicans than House Republicans, who have been outspoken in their opposition to this bill for a variety of reasons. Ted Cruz has different problems with the bill than Rob Portman of Ohio does. You know, Portman of Ohio says he's very concerned by the cuts to Medicaid. Ted Cruz wants Medicaid to be cut faster. And so you can see why Republican leaders are trying to discourage members from expecting big changes, because no matter which way they make those changes, if they try to satisfy one group, they're going to end up upsetting another.
So on that, everything this White House is trying to accomplish domestically hinges on its ability to work with House leadership to get this through. So if the White House does amend the bill, especially in the direction of what the House Freedom Caucus wants, what are they looking for in terms of changes?
Well, the Freedom Caucus thinks that this is Obamacare light. They say that it maintains too many of the requirements that Obamacare placed on insurers. They don't like these tax credits. They say that's enshrining a new entitlement program. They don't like the fact that Republican leaders want to wait until the year 2020 to start cutting Medicaid. They want that to happen much quicker. The problem is that you've got a just as large of a group of Republicans who say, no, wait a minute, we're concerned about those Medicaid changes, even if they happen in 2020. And, you know, you've got another problem, Elaine, which is that if Republican leaders start making some of the changes that the Freedom Caucus wants, it's likely to lead to a CBO report that's even worse in many ways than what we've already seen. If they start cutting Medicaid in 2018, for example, then the CBO is no longer going to say that 18 million people lose their coverage in year one. That number will be even higher.
A lot of competing ideas, a lot of competing goals right now on Capitol Hill. Nancy Cordes, thanks so much.
You're welcome.